All right. Good morning, YouTube. Hi, my name is Asia, and I am one flying mama. So, in our series of being a single parent flight attendant, or being a single mom flight attendant, I am telling you how I got here and things that I did to help me get here. So, today we'll talk about things to do to get yourself prepared as a single flight attendant parent, okay? First thing, I cannot stress this enough. And as most of you single parents will know, it can sometimes be hard, but you must save. Save as much as you possibly can. Because depending on the airline that you go to work for, training may be unpaid. If training is unpaid, you have obligations that you still must take care of at home, right? Car note, car insurance, rent, cell phone bills, after school activities for the kids. So when you go into training, you don't want to be in training, stressing about training and stressing about your financial responsibilities at home. For me, my responsibilities when I went into training were my car note, car insurance, cell phone bill, and my rent. My child's after school fees were taken care of by her other parent, so I didn't have to so much worry about that, right? The next thing I'm going to tell you to do is to get yourself some reliable help lined up. And that's also going to be in conjunction with pick an airline that has a base where you may have family or friends that are truly willing to help you, right? So reliable help means, it doesn't have to be your mom, your dad, or the other parent. It just needs to be somebody who, if you say, listen, I'm on reserve, it'll be a while that I'm on reserve, but I'm going to need you at least 3 days out of the week to, take my child to and from school, take my child to and from these lessons, prepare meals for my child, and keep me in the loop of what's going on with school or what's going on with my child's extracurricular activities, right? And that also means, if said airline has a base where you have friends or family who are like, you know what, I will 10 million% support you and your decision and what you're going to do. I am willing to take your child to and from school. I am willing to take your child to and from their extracurricular activities. You are more than welcome to have your child be in my home for whatever amount of time they need to be here. Then that's what you do. My reliable support system came from my mom. I was living in Atlanta when I got my job. I stayed there for about a year before I moved back home to New York, because my mom kept saying, why not come home? Why not come home? I will take her to and from school. I will take her to doctor's appointments. I will take care of her, right? And I didn't turn out to be a bad person, so my mom is the best person to help me. Her dad did not and still does not support what it is that I've decided to do with my life outside of he and I. So he didn't offer me that support. He didn't say, well, I will take her and she can come and stay with me while you go and do what it is that you need to do to fulfill yourself, and to show her that at no point is she to ever stop wanting to go for whatever it is that she wants to do, children or not, married or not. So I went home, okay? Next thing, and it's going to sound redundant to the following point, downsize, right? Not all of us are fortunate enough to have relatives that would be willing to take us in. Not all of us are fortunate enough to be able to downsize. Some of us are at the smallest that we could go. But if you are living, I don't want to say beyond your means, but if you are living in more than you need to, downsizing will help you save, right? I was living in a 3-bedroom house. 2.5 bathrooms, 2-car garage. Trust me, by no means was it a palace. So don't let my descriptions of it sound like, oh, well, you were living really nice. No, it was a home. It was just a home. And I could have downsized. I could have downsized to a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment versus a home. But me, Asia, and all my last names, I'm not used to apartment living. I've never lived in an apartment, right? I've always lived in a house. And my finances have always allowed me to live in a home. So that's where I felt most comfortable being. And until it just became unbearably too much between my reserve salary and the commute and so on and so forth, did I do it. But downsize, you have OfferUp, Let Go, you have Facebook Marketplace. These 3 places will allow you to sell your things. You can sell your things and put that money towards your savings. And then there's a huge tip I'm going to give you at the end towards your savings that sometimes people don't even think about, okay? You have to revise your resume. Next point. Revise your resume. What is it about your resume that may be hindering you from becoming desirable to these airlines? What is it about your resume that may be hindering you from becoming desirable to higher paying jobs? Airline may not be your final aspiration, but what is it on your resume that's keeping you from being wanted? You need to tap into that. Maybe even spend the money to have them revised professionally. So that way, when you go to a job interview or when you send your resume off, it moves from here on the list to here on the list to, we need them to come in because we need to see who this exceptionally bright person is or who this hardworking person is, right? Network. Okay. It's hard for me to say network because I am, as strange as this may sound, I am a very personal person. But as a single parent, it is imperative for you to network with other parents. They don't have to necessarily be single. Other parents who are trying to be on the same journey as you. You may find that you have other parents in your area who are trying to be flight attendants at the same airline or, to get based where you're getting based. And this too will help you to feel more comfortable, right? You may have other parents who are already flight attendants at the airline who are within your community. Facebook is a great place to network for these things, right? Because you don't have to physically go out and look for people. Facebook makes it easy for you to say, hey, I want to work at X, Y, and Z airline. I'm from, and I have a kid. Anybody can give me any advice, because then they'd be more able to give you advice on how it is to be a single parent or to be a parent working for that airline. So network, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, get your feelers out. The internet is such a great tool to help you network as best you can, right? My networking for me came later. I actually met a young lady at the hiring event that I went to that just so happened to live maybe 2 exits away from me. So we were able to talk and, hey girl, did you get all your stuff together for training and this and the third? Did you get your packet? Did you get your entry date? Da, 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 da. Okay. So again, when it comes to picking an airline that has a base where you may have some stable help, be prepared to move. Just in case you have to move, be prepared to move. That also goes with your savings. And it may not be your entire family move. You may need to get a crash pad somewhere for the meantime until you get a stable line. I had to have a crash pad for a while, so between rent and crash pad, I was losing my mind with paying money every which way. But because I saved and because there were monies given to me, I was able to do both at the same time, right? a very, very strong highlighted point. Take everyone to every single doctor, right? If you are fortunate enough to have health insurance prior to taking on the job as a flight attendant, go to every single doctor. Go to your primary care physician, go to your OBGYN, go to your optometrist, your dentist, any of your primary core care physicians, go to them. Why? Because you don't know how long it may be between you actually completing training and your benefits kicking in. So if you go to training over the summer and benefits don't kick in until like October, but your kids need to have their physical forms filled out for a particular sport, you need to have that done before you go, because you don't want to wind up having to come out of pocket to take care of that, right? So remember, I said it was a really big thing I was going to tell you guys. It's not the hugest thing in the world, but for me, it changed my life. It helped me. Prior to becoming a flight attendant, I couponed heavily. When I say heavily, it wasn't a deal that I wasn't in the store doing. I was getting 10 and 20 papers at a clip. It's a whole nother video about how I was doing that. And this enabled me to assist my savings and to also have some financial flexibility during my first year as a flight attendant. What happens with couponing is, let's say this is a deodorant, right? This deodorant is $2. And in the paper this weekend is a coupon for $1 off the deodorant. So you only pay $1 for this deodorant. But it gets better if the store is saying 2 deodorants for $1. So you got 2 deodorants for $1 and $1 off of 1 deodorant. So then you use two coupons, right? Because you got 2 deodorants. Your deodorants are now free. The rest of the math we'll worry about later. But the point of this is couponing helps you to stock up on essential things that would otherwise cost you money, right? Laundry detergent, toothpaste. Toothpaste should always be free. Toothpaste should always be free. Toothpaste should always be free. Okay. Laundry detergent, toothpaste, fabric softener, body wash, shampoo, deodorant. What else? Just so many things, including food items, right? Also, if you or someone you know has like a Sam's Club, BJ's, Costco membership, ask them, hey, can I use your membership, or could you take me one day? Stock up on as much as you can afford. That goes for meats, that goes for vegetables, that goes for laundry detergents, body washes, that goes for all hygiene and household products. What happens is, once you have a stockpile of things, food and other things, it gives you the ability to say, I am able to not have to worry about this being an expense when, right? When you get your first check and it's $700, $900, okay, that's $22 that I don't have to pay for laundry detergent and fabric softener. That's $10 that I don't have to pay for deodorant and toothpaste and mouthwash. That's another $15 I don't have to pay for paper towels and toilet tissue. Then that's money that you've been able to keep and put elsewhere. My first year of being a flight attendant was rough. Heck, my second year has been just as rough, and I'm reaching some hurdles that are gonna take a lot of personal reflection to get over. I've been missing because life, right? Life. But if I'm going to stay true to myself, and if I'm gonna help myself get any further, I have to stay on the course of making these videos, as they are not only a help for you, but a diary for me, right? So ask me any questions. I'll check this more often. I didn't know I had comments, let alone questions, but I'm willing to help, because people helped me, so why not, right? You all have a wonderful day. This is Asia out.